jump into the 5 people that you need in your life right now for next level success. But as I'm talking to you, I want you to think about who's around you right now. Who do you see the most? Who do you talk with the most? And sometimes it's digital. It's not even in person. It's just the person that you see on social media, or maybe a phone call, or again, Zoom meetings. Who are the 5 people that are around you the most, and how are they impacting you? Okay, and I want you to think about this. And sometimes this is a tough realization, because people that are impacting us not so positively, they could be family, they could be your boss, but at the end of the day, they are impacting you. And so as you grow and as you build that next level of success overall in your life, there's 5 people that I want to share with you today. So again, we officially start the program on Monday, but I want to set you up for success in order to be successful in your learning and in your growing. So the educator's coming out in me. I want to make sure that we provide an environment where you feel like you can learn and you have the resources. So I'm going to jump into the 5 people that you want to have in your life right now, and I want you to take notes. I will have a digital PDF of this that I will put in the Rise Up For You school portal. So if you're not enrolled in the Rise Up For You school portal, you all should be, because you're in the club, but just in case, you're going to want to do that, because that's where the library of resources is going to be. Okay. But again, community is so important for accountability, for support, for diversity. So there's 5 people that I want you to have in your life that can help you leverage your personal and your professional life. So it doesn't matter if you're in corporate career and you want to get up into the next level, in a promotion. It doesn't matter if you run your own business and you're looking to network and build more connections. These 5 people are necessity. Okay. The first one is the easiest to understand. And this is what we call your cheerleader. Okay, so as I'm talking to you, I want you to just jot down notes. Think about the people that you have right now in your life that you can utilize to be one of these 5 roles. So the first one is the cheerleader. So this is the person that's constantly uplifting you, giving you positive affirmations. When you feel down, when you feel not good enough, when you feel stuck, when you're having a bad day, that you can call them and they're just simply going to love on you and put as much support on you as possible. And they're going to remind you how great you are, the credentials that you have, your characteristics, your personality, the qualities. They're going to remind you that you are enough and that you can do it. And they're going to be your number 1 cheerleader with those pom-poms. Okay. So that's the first one, is your cheerleader. So I want you to take a minute right now to think about who your cheerleader is. So as I do these live sessions, I'm going to ask you these thought-provoking questions, because one of the biggest challenges we see when it comes to success, right? And this is what determines who's successful and who's not in overall in your life, right? I'm not just talking career, I'm talking overall, is the ability to actually implement, right? So everything that I'm going to say to you is going to be easy to understand and comprehend for the most part right now. But it's a different layer to then take all the information and implement and take action. So that's why I want to walk you through it as I'm talking to you. Okay. So the first person is the cheerleader. Who do you have right now in your life that is your cheerleader? It could be your spouse. It could be your best friend. It could be someone in the professional space that really believes in your abilities and your talent, and they see your potential. But who is that person that when you call, they're just going to love on you and they're going to be your Care Bear? Okay, maybe I should change it to Care Bear. But they're going to be your number 1 cheerleader, Care Bear. Okay, that's number 1. That's the first person. The second person that you want right now in your life is your mentor. Okay, now this is the person that's naturally going to be more experienced than you in whatever industry, field, specific to what you want to grow in. They're going to have more experience than you. They're going to be in the industry longer, and they're going to teach you all the tricks. They're going to guide you. They're going to be your teacher, and they're going to lead you and guide you. And any questions that you have, you know that you can go to them and get mentorship and get guidance. So I want you to think right now, where do you need a mentor? And again, everybody here is in a different place, and that's what I love about this community, is that we're going to meet you where you are. So for some of you, you're really looking for a mentor in your career, right? Next step career strategy. For some of you, you're looking for a mentor when it comes to emotional and social intelligence and confidence, because maybe you're not feeling so great and you need a mentor to help you build that tool. For some of you, you need a mentor to find a job. So you're trying to figure out what your next step is and what industry you should go into. But who is your teacher? Who is your mentor that has more experience than you, that is willing to take the time to guide you and walk next to you and teach you as much as they know so that you can be successful. Okay, so that's your mentor. That's the second person. So I want you to think about who you have right now. Now, as I'm talking with you, some of you might say, I don't know who that is, and I don't even know if I have one, right? And so when I go through all 5 of them, then I'm going to tell you what to do if you don't feel like you have one in your current community. The third person is my favorite type of person, okay? And this is the constructive trustee. So point blank, we all have blind spots. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have, what your education is, if you're Oprah, Tony Robbins, it doesn't matter. Every single human being has a space in the back of their brain called the blind spot area. That doesn't actually really exist, but I want you to visualize that you have a blind spot back here where you can't recognize some of your weaknesses or your strengths. So you can't see yourself. And so your perception of yourself is limited. And so your constructive trustee is the one that gives you feedback, is the one that makes you accountable, is the one that says, I wouldn't do that if I were you, and here's why. But they do it in a positive and uplifting way. So some of us have this person in our life already that gives us a lot of constructiveness, and they're constantly critiquing and giving feedback, but they do it in a way that's not so healthy, right? Maybe you feel negated, maybe you feel put down, maybe you feel like ashamed of your mistakes, and so then you're not receiving the information and you're not growing and transforming. And so that's why you want this person to be what we call the constructive trustee that knows how to deliver the feedback and keep you accountable in a way that you're actually going to be able to hear it and not shut down. So I want you to think who your constructive trustee is. For me personally, this is the most important role because I need that accountability person to say, what are you doing right now? Right? But to do it in a way where Nada Lena Nasserdeen can receive it and then say, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. So think about who your constructive trustee is that can give you that feedback, keep you accountable, okay, critique you when necessary, but do it in a way, again, where you're open to receiving it and that where you don't shut down. So that's your third. So if you're just joining us, just to recap, the 5 most important people that you need in order to have that next level of success right now, today, we got to find them, okay? First one is your cheerleader, providing positive affirmations for you. They're there to lift you up when you feel down, when you feel uncertain. Your mentor, that's the teacher that's more experienced than you, that can give you feedback, that can teach you the tricks of the trade, that can give you information, lead you, and give you everything, all the resources that you need to be successful. The third that we just ended with is the constructive trustee. This is the individual that can give you feedback, critique you, make you accountable, but they're going to do it in a way that where you can receive it and not where you shut down and feel negated or ashamed. Okay, that's 3. Going on to the 4. Now I want you to listen carefully between 4 and 5 because they sound similar, but they're different. Okay, so 4 is your connector. Now, everybody knows, especially if you have your own business or if you're in the corporate space or even anything, if you have a passion project, you know, you're building a company, anything, schools, it doesn't matter. We need what we call a connector. Now, this is the person that you have in your life that's brilliant and that keeps you top of mind so that when they are out networking, when they're meeting people, that they remember what you do so that they can connect you, okay? So for example, for me, this is if somebody goes to a networking event and let's say an individual says, oh, you know, I'm kind of feeling like I'm lacking confidence in my profession, then my connector is going to say, hey, I know this woman named Netta. She runs a company called Rise Up For You. This is what they do. I'm going to connect you. You want to have somebody like that out there that's constantly, basically, they're your indirect networker. So whenever they're meeting family, whenever they're meeting friends, whenever they're going to professional networking event, they're thinking of you so that they can connect you. And then from there, you can go and do the work. Okay, so we want to have the connector. Now, the last one is the advocate. And here's how it's different than the connector. The advocate is the person that 100% believes in you so much that they're going to stick their neck out, okay, to get you to that next level. So if you are in the corporate space right now and maybe you want a promotion, for example, okay, if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're ready to take a management position or a leadership position, You need this advocate, because the advocate is the person that's going to go to HR or the hiring team and say, hey, this individual in this department is impeccable. I need you to interview them, and I need you to hire in-house because they need to have this role. They're the ones they're more assertive in making sure that you get to that next level. And that's why they're different than the connector. The connector is just the person that keeps you top of mind. They believe in what you do and they connect you and you take it from there. The advocate is the one that's sticking their neck out for you and that's really pushing for you to get that promotion, for you to get this client. So I have an advocate, for example. She's actually a client of ours, okay? And she loves the work that we do with her so much that when we have prospect clients that are like still trying to figure out if this is a good fit, she jumps in and she's like, let me tell you why you have to be a part of Rise Up For You. She would be considered an advocate for the company. And that's the person that you want, okay? So these 5 people collectively are gonna help you get to your next level. And I really want you to think about who are these 5 people that you have in your life right now. A lot of times we have these 5 people already in our network. We just forget that we have them, right? Like we forget that they exist. So here's what I encourage you to do. Go through your phone list to start with, okay? Because anyone that's in your phone, if you have the phone number, they're gonna be a closer connection to you than someone that's on like LinkedIn, for example. So first thing, go through your phone book and just see if anything sparks. You know, you might see someone and go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Like they would be a great connector for me. Okay, so think about that. If you still don't feel like you have your 5 people, then you can go to LinkedIn, see what you have on LinkedIn, any connections. And after that, if you still feel like you're missing someone, like maybe you're missing the mentor, or maybe you're missing the connector, then this is where you have to, my friend, get out into the community and start networking and building new relationships. Because this might be a sign, if you can't fill these 5 spots with people that are gonna leverage your success, this might be a sign that we need to open up your network and your community a little bit more. Community is very important to your success. We cannot build anything great by ourselves. Rise Up For You is not built just by me individually. There's a ton of people since the beginning of manifestation that have helped support. So community is very, very, very important. Okay, and in your community, you need to have these 5 people that are going to be by your side that can help you leverage your success. So again, that's cheerleader, your mentor, your constructive trustee, your connector, and your advocate. So I encourage you today to figure out who are these 5 people in my life, okay? And if you don't have them, you're going to open up your phone, you're going to look on social media, and you're going to be active in this community to find these people that can then fill that spot.